Hello, welcome to Social Science Statistics. In this video, I'm just going to really briefly go over the syllabus and then we'll be good to go. So, just so you know, I'm Jamila. I'll be your instructor for the semester. I am a PhD candidate here at USF in sociology. I am originally from Texas. I did both my undergraduate and master's degree at Texas State University, which is just outside of Austin. And I have been teaching this course at USF for 4 years and some change. I also TA'd and tutored for Texas State's version of this course, which was actually 3 split up courses. At both the undergraduate and graduate levels. So I've been doing this for a while, and my goal is to make this as painless as possible as I can for you guys. So that said, I'm just gonna start going. Obviously, it's an online course. You need internet. One thing that I want to just really make sure that everybody gets is that you need a computer for this class. It doesn't have to be yours, obviously. You can utilize the ones on campus, in the library, student center, whatever, but you for sure need a computer. The software that you have to use doesn't have an app, it doesn't have anything like that, and you have to put it on a computer or be running it in a browser on a computer. It won't work on a tablet. I have had some students in the past that have had Chromebooks, and saving files and stuff on there is a little tricky. So if you're not super familiar with how to go through your file system, I would recommend just using a computer on campus. I don't have access to one of those to troubleshoot with you. I do have access to a Windows machine and a Mac laptop, so I have both Windows and Mac OS. If it's not that, I can't help you. I think the university also offers a download of the SPSS, which is the program that we need for Linux, but I'm going to assume that if you're running Linux on your machine, you know what you're doing. So there's that. So please keep that in mind. Also, I think I mentioned it somewhere, either in the syllabus or on the Canvas website, but the bookstore also offers a license for SPSS, which you do not need to buy. It's like $800 for a person. Please don't buy it. It's available for free. There's a PowerPoint that has directions on how to access it, either if you want to install it or if you want to run it on the remote desktops. So either option is fine. The remote version works a little bit more slow, but it works. So that's all that matters. So a couple things. Pretty much everything in this class will be due Sunday night at midnight. With a couple of exceptions. It's noted in the course schedule, which you'll see when we get there if you haven't looked at it already. But other than that, it's due Sunday at midnight. Well, 11:59. It will close. Canvas will automatically no longer allow uploads after that time. So make sure that you get your stuff uploaded in locked and loaded prior to then. Also, if you ever need to get a hold of me, please email me. Don't message me through Canvas. The Canvas messaging system is so funky. It is the worst, especially if you're needing to send me attachments, like screenshots of hey, I'm working on this, and you've taken a screenshot of something, and whatever. Canvas is weird. So please email me. My email is right here. It's at the top of the syllabus. I think it's in I'll put it in most of the announcements. Please email me. Generally speaking, if you email me, I can I'll answer you within 1 business day. So if the bank is open, other than Saturdays, because I know banks are open on Saturdays now, if the bank is open, I'm answering emails. Otherwise, if you email me Friday night at 9 p.m., I'm probably not going to get back to you until Monday. So keep that in mind. Again, especially if you're asking me a question about the assignment or something like that, I may or may not see it, and I may or may not have time to answer you over the weekend. So bear that in mind. If you ever need to talk, by the way, there are office hours listed at the top here. Monday, Wednesday, those are listed because I have to list something. But again, if you need to talk to me, just email me. As long as you let me know at least a day in advance, I can probably make it work. Now, if you email me at 7 p.m. Tuesday and you're like, hey, can you meet at 8 a.m. tomorrow? Like, probably not, no. But if you email me at 3 p.m. and you say, hey, can you meet tomorrow at, I don't know, 2, that's fine. That's totally fine. So, I'm seriously, if you ever have any questions at all, please ask me. I want to answer your questions. Well, I don't want to say often, but every now and then someone will turn in an assignment at least once a semester, and I'll be going through, I'm grading, and then they'll just leave something blank and they'll write me a message at the top that says, I didn't understand how to do this. Well, ask me and I will sit here on Teams, we'll go through it. It's totally fine. I want to help you, but I can't help you after the fact, right? Like, 'cause then it's grades. So I genuinely don't mind answering questions. So there is a textbook. You can grab that. I'm not super familiar, and I don't have access to an older version, like the 11th edition. If it's cheaper, I would say it's probably fine if you go ahead and grab that, because it's not like the field of statistics is changing a whole lot over the course of these few years. It's probably fine. Just know that if you do get an older version of the book, if it'll be on you to kind of make sure that you're following along in like the correct sections and everything. Page numbers and stuff might be different, so that'll be between you and Jesus to figure out what exact page number and everything. But it's not like formulas or anything like that are changing. That said, your quizzes and your exams are open book, so I would encourage you to get the book however you see fit. You don't necessarily need to purchase or rent it, but maybe you can find that. I'm also not sure if the library has a copy on reserve, but there are a ton of sections of this class, so I wouldn't bank on the reserve copy if it exists being available. So here's kind of your grade breakdown, like what everything's worth, how many points you need. I don't round grades. Every now and then I'll get someone asking me, hey, I'm 2 points away from a B or an A or whatever. The answer is no. And you'll see why in a minute. So these are whatever points you end up with by the end of the semester, like that's your grade. So just a brief breakdown, you'll have a first day exercise, which is worth just a few points. It's super basic, super quick, shouldn't take you any time at all. You'll have quizzes, exercises, which are like worksheet style type of thing. A couple of short essay, they're called data analysis reports, and then you'll have 2 exams as well. So this is true for both the quizzes and the exercises. There are 6 of both, but only 5 of them count towards your grade. So that means that if you just can't be bothered one week, you're tired, you just straight up forget, whatever happens, my family's yearly trip to go look at the world's largest pistachio, I forgot was this weekend and I didn't get my assignment due, during the week before. Doesn't matter. It won't count against you if it's your first one. So that's totally fine. You can miss any one of them, of either of those if you, and it won't matter. If you do all of them, you will get 1 extra point on your overall grade. So, for example, if you have enough points that get you to an 89% average, it'll bump you up to a 90, which would take you from a B to an A. And that's true for both of them. So there's an opportunity for 2 extra points on your overall grade. That's why I don't round your grades. With the quizzes, I mentioned that they are open book, they're open note, they're open whatever. They're timed, they're 45 minutes, I think. So it's in your best interest to at least be slightly familiar with the material, because you're not going to have time to like hunt through the book for everything. But it's available to you. My personal philosophy is that in the real world, you will have the opportunity to look things up if you don't know them. You're not generally going to need to have everything memorized, so there's no point in forcing you to memorize a bunch of arbitrary things for class, right? I'm a PhD student. I've been doing sociology for a long time, and there are random words, random theories that I still need to look up because I just can't remember them. And that's okay. Eventually, you'll get quicker at it and you'll remember, and that's okay. So, yeah, if you need to look something up, I think that that's totally fine. For your quizzes specifically, you get 2 attempts. It'll keep the highest of your grade. So if you totally beef one of the attempts, you can just go back and do it again. That's fine. The exams function basically the exact same way, except there's a 90-minute time limit on it. So the full length of a class period, more or less. And again, they're open book, whatever, but you'll only have 1 attempt. That's the only difference. The exercises, which you'll see, I'll have videos for at least all of the SPSS ones. There's one that requires some hand calculation. I don't really have a good way to film me like writing anything, so I'll see if I can figure something out. If I can, I'll record something for that. Otherwise, I do have like handwritten like instructions and everything, so you can follow with that. Otherwise, and obviously, again, if you don't understand anything, please just ask me a question. There's also 2, they're called data analysis reports. These are the like university required assignment. And very briefly, you'll pick a UN sustainability goal, and you'll do some really quick and dirty data analysis, like write-ups about some variables in a data set that is provided to you and everything. So they should be pretty like straightforward once you've kind of learned the words you need to use from the quizzes and how to do it via the exercises. You're gonna be good to go. Finally, there is an extra credit paper, which is I'll post more in-depth instructions, but it'll be super short, and that's worth 2 points on your overall grade. So in general, you have an opportunity for 4 extra points on your full grade, on your like average. So again, if you have an 87 average, for the semester, you can get and you have all 4 extra points, it bumps you up to a 91. So you'll go from a B to an A. That's if you do everything. If you only do one and it only bumps you up from an 87 to an 89, well, whatever. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. But yeah, so opportunity for 4 whole extra credit points on your entire grade, and everything's open book. There will be videos that walk you through all the SPSS stuff. And yeah, with grades, pretty much my goal is to have a grade turnaround of about a week. So you'll have stuff due Sunday at midnight, right? So call it Monday. My goal is to have your grades turned back around that following Monday. Obviously, with longer stuff, exams will take me a little bit longer to go through, and your data analysis reports might take me a little bit longer. But generally speaking, my goal is a week. If it's taking longer than that, I'll usually communicate with you guys. But that's pretty much my goal. If there's ever anything like weird, you don't understand something about a grade or anything like that, I need you to bring it up to me within a week of whenever I posted it. So whenever your grades get posted, obviously you get an email. If there's something weird, sometimes I'll go to type a number, and the cursor wasn't in the actual thing, and so it misses the first number, whatever. Weird stuff happens, and I only type half of your grade. I give you a 1 instead of a 100 or something. Please tell me, but I need you to tell me within a week. I've had in the past folks that wait until the day before grades are due, and they're like, oh, this, and this, and this is wrong. And it's like, well, what do you want from me now? This is from September, right? And it's like a week before Christmas. Why is this happening? So, there's that. And like I said, you get emails when your grades are posted and stuff anyway. So, and yeah, within a week, just email me. I'm happy to either go over, like why you got the grade that you did, if you disagree with your grade, or if I screwed up, I'm happy to take the L because it happens sometimes, right? So, there's that. Here is your course schedule. You'll see, other than the first day exercise, you don't have anything due for the first couple of weeks. And that's just so you have time to get SPSS on lockdown. You can contact IT if there's anything like weird going on with installation, anything like that. So you have time. But I would encourage you to make sure that all of that is set up sooner rather than the week of February 10th, which is when your first SPSS thing will be due. Because if you wait until then, you'll be stressed out and you don't need to bring that anxiety on yourself. So take the 10 minutes, install it, make sure it's working now when you don't have a lot going on in all your other classes. And you'll be happier for it. For the exams, basically they'll open at, midnight on that week, and they'll be open the entire week. So you'll have from, 12:01, oh my gosh, on March 3rd until 11:59 on March 9th to take the exam. You can do it at literally any point in between those times. Just know you can't do like part of it and then like close Canvas and then like come back and do like the rest of it, because that's not how Canvas works. And again, you have the 90-minute time limit, so keep that in mind. Also, if you're in the assignment prior to midnight when it closes, so say you don't start it until 11:55, you're not finishing the whole test in 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. But even if you're in it at 11:59, it'll just cut you off. It'll just close whatever you have answered. That's it. So also keep that in mind. I will send out reminders of like, hey, your exam's open. Hey, make sure you take your exam. Hey, make sure you take your exam. So oh my God, please take your exam, because I can't reopen them. They're tests, right? So there's that. And then these are just general, university policies. If you're super interested in any of that, feel free to take a gander at your own leisure. Another thing that I really want to make sure that we know, this is an online and asynchronous course, so the only way that I have to communicate with you guys is via the announcements. You're not going to be seeing me once or twice a week in a classroom for me to be like, hey, BT dub, and like remind you of things. So please read your announcements. There's always like something that happens where even though I've put it in an announcement for 6 weeks straight and multiple times, people will be like, oh, well, I didn't know. And it's like, well, it's right here. And so that's the only way that I really have to communicate to all of you at once. Please read them. For the most part, it's just going to say, hey, here's what we're doing this week. You know, this is what's due, the end. But if anything else happens, say I am changing a due date, which for the record, if I'm changing a due date, it will always be pushed back. I'll never move a due date up. So if I'm changing a due date, if there's an error in an assignment, anything like that, that's going to be communicated through announcements because it's the only means that I have to do so. So please read them. Also, again, you know, this is online, it's asynchronous. I get that that's not an ideal way to learn for some people. I'm 100% one of those people. So I totally understand if, you know, maybe you want an online synchronous course, you know, where you're meeting every week and they're lecturing to you and things like that. Sometimes it just helps to hear someone say the things that you've just read. I totally understand. This is not that class. So do what's best for you and your learning. Not just for my class, but for any class. If you have the opportunity to take a different, you know, type of teacher, do it. Take advantage of that. If you don't think that it's best for you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously, if you have any questions about any of this, please let me know. I'm happy to answer whatever question that you might have. Yeah, I hope that you have a really good first week of classes. It's cold in January for once here. I don't think in the 5 years that I've been here that it's ever been cold in January. So please enjoy your first week of classes. Please remember to do that kind of first day exercise so that you don't get dropped from the course. It doesn't mess with your financial aid. All of that stuff. Get SPSS on lockdown, squared away, all of that. And I will see you when I see you. Take care.